Hey, folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at Ann Arbor, Huron, home of the River Rats. I'm here with the lead coach himself, Coach Mo Kasham, holding it down. How you doing, Coach?
Great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man, you invited me into your practice, man, and I know you're all about promoting the program, and it's not about you, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about what I experienced. You know, let's first of all say it's a family affair in here, man, because that's what all your players talk about. Talk about this family atmosphere that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strong word. It's a strong six-letter word. We try to, a lot of players or teams talk about being a family, and we try to embody that, whether it's a team meal that we have before a road game or just a camaraderie that we share inside of our locker room, and just like on the road. We've been on the road the last 6 games. 3 of them were neutral sites. 3 of them were at the opponent's house, conference opponents. Those are never easy, and what we've been telling them is if we're connected, like families are, things don't always go great, right? You're going to fight, especially if you really love the person. You're going to hold them accountable, and you might not always take that the right way, especially on an off day. But what we try to tell them is we're all here to hold you accountable so that you can learn from your mistakes. It's nothing for you to hold on to. Listen to it, take the good out of it, and let it go. There's no need to hold it in.
Yeah, I like that. You know, and people will always say, you know, practice is supposed to be a certain way, man, but from what I experienced, your practice is pretty fun, man. I mean, talk about the energy level that's in your practice and what you get from that.
Yeah, we got a great group of coaches who demonstrate enthusiasm day in and day out. We love to be here. This is more than just a gymnasium. It's an outlet for us to be ourselves. Let loose, especially after a long day of work in our eyes or school with the players. And so this is 2 hours for you to get better, for you to let loose, for you to be locked in on what the task is, which every day we try to win. Yeah. We try to go 1-0 every day and stack up those good days. And so, you know, when you bring that energy, you are sometimes able to feed off the players, or they're feeding off of you. They see how the chemistry amongst the coaches are, the synergy that we have, and you know, it carries over, and they actually sometimes exemplify it a lot better than we do.
Yeah, that's great. You know, I got to talk about the other things that happen. We talk about the press, the media. We've talked offline about how you're not so caught up in quote-unquote rankings, but just give me your official statement on you guys being ranked one of the top teams in the state. You know, some polls have one thing, some have another, but just give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, they're great. When you are ranked, when you're not ranked, you're probably paying less and less attention to them. It's if you're looking for any type of validity behind your hard work, the rankings help you get that. But if that's the only thing you're looking for to get your right due, then you're searching in the wrong areas. And so we focus on just getting better. We focus on getting ourselves ready for the big dance in March.
That's right.
Right now we're competing for our conference championship, and we put ourselves in a position where, you know, if we continue doing what we're going to be doing, we're going to be competing for one. But we have way bigger ambitions and goals, and so like rankings are great, and I'm sure the players are looking for any type of validation that they can get, and the rankings help give you that. But we believed in ourselves since day one, and that's the real validation right there, is when you got a group of 15 players that are all believing in themselves and each other, that we can make a run in March. That's our number one goal. Conference championship is great, but last year we got knocked out early. That's not something that we've ever been accustomed to doing. We want to win a district. We want to compete for a regional, and we want to get to Callahan.
That's right. That's right. You want to represent like that. Well, that's a good thing all the way around, but I will just add one question. You've been here for a year, if you will. This is your first year leading the program. Got 16 years plus. I mean, you've been here. For those who don't know, you got a good idea of how to look at rankings. How do you get your players to really buy into everything you just said?
They know. What I can always do is go back to last year and 2 years and 3 years. So rankings is nothing new with us. We've always been ranked, and so there's a way to twist it too. Some of these guys aren't ranked as far as individually, and I think that they should be. Some of them are ranked 90, We have one that's ranked 42, and he's our best player in the sophomore class. And I said, if we're going to believe the rankings, that we're a top 10 team, which by now we're embracing it. And, while we're at it, let's see where this goes. But our focus is on March. But if we're going to believe those rankings, then let's believe the rankings that are also out there about us being number 90 and number 52, whatever it is. And so rankings don't mean nothing. They're very subjective. All that matters is in March, you're playing on the biggest stage, and you're one of those last 8 or 4 teams, and you're putting yourself in a position to win those games. And so I think if we continue building on what we're doing right now, we continue taking steps in the right direction and building that chemistry, I think roles are starting to be more clearly defined on their own. I think players are starting to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, which is great. But all that kind of stuff takes time. We're not just going to learn from losses, which we haven't done this year. We're going to learn from our wins. We always look at defensively what percentages we want to, what stats we want to win.
I heard you talking about that in practice too, about how many shots were going up and whatnot.
Yeah, and so there's things that are within your control, and there's things that are without your control. That ball bounces funny sometimes, but you want to be able to look at things and not, hammer them away. But hey, here's something that happened that should not have happened, that we could have prevented from happening. Here's what we're going to do next time to make sure it doesn't happen. And so at least addressing it, even though we won, is something that allows them at least the opportunity to learn and grow from it. And so we're shoving that information down their face and reinforcing a lot of the same principles we've always stuck to. And hopefully the players realize, it didn't cost us last game, but these mistakes can rear their ugly heads at the worst moments.
The worst moment, especially. Coach, I appreciate you again for welcoming me in and for taking the time to kind of go into some things that you probably don't want to spend a whole lot of time on, but you do have a thought on it. But we got to get that out there. And then I got a couple games. I better come see you guys, man. So for someone who hasn't been here to experience one of your home games, tell me what I should be waiting to experience.
It's going to be electric. We have a great facility, great dome. I call it, one. I don't know if there's any other dome, but it's one in a million, right?
Right.
I think there's one other dome in the state of Michigan. So us being unique in that, right, and kind of not having the fans on the baseline, it's unique. But what you can expect from our players is that they're going to play hard and that they're going to play together and that they're going to play the right way. And so we haven't wavered from that, and we've gotten the results. So I think we know what works, and we're going to continue to perfect those type of things. But also, we want to be able to play different styles. We know that in March it becomes a possession battle.
Exactly.
And so we want to be able to play fast. We want to be able to play slow. We want to be able to do whatever it is we need to do to win ball games.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it, man. That's a good thing. Anybody want to give a special shout out to before we let you go?
Special shout out to our administration. I think we got the best head principal and Principal Che Carter. We got a great AD and Tony Weiner. Our administration is one of the best in the state. They really do support athletics and support the coaches and the student athletes. It's a privilege to play here. It's something that we always say. The foundation has been laid. We have the blueprint and the formula. These players are completely bought in because they know it works, right? And so if they go out there and do their jobs, at least we'll put ourselves in the best position for us to compete for championships, and that's always the ultimate goal here.
I love it, man. Talking about competing for championships, and I'll be there for that MHSA, championship weekend. I look forward to being there, sit down with you then too,
Thank you so much for coming, Lindsay. I appreciate
thanks for having me. I appreciate it. With that being said, this is Lindsay Hustle, SPS, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.